Hi guys, good evening. It's Martin from Martin's Holiday Village, and we're here again to bring another fabulous supplier to you this evening. So we're here, God, we must be about episode 27, 28 now, and I am absolutely delighted and ecstatic that I've got one of my best friends in the travel industry that is there. Now, Manchester calling Stoke. Are you there, Dawn from Uniworld?
Here, all the way down the road, 45 minutes away, and yeah, connection's good.
Good, that sounds good. That sounds good. So, Dawn, you're my little Jane McDonald. You've done a few now, haven't you? Veterinary.
Oh well, I love doing these. It's just lovely to talk about all the things that we're going to be doing very shortly. We've tried to, the conversations that we have and the nice chats more about the itineraries that and the places that you can go to as well, and give people inspiration. I just can't wait. And I know we're going to be talking today about Portugal, and the great news is Portugal came off the red list yesterday, so perfect timing.
It was spot on. We did that well, didn't we?
Absolutely.
Oh well. Anyway, Dawn, you've done Uniworld. You've done a couple now. We've had an evening in India. We've been to Italy, and now we're going to go to Portugal. But before we do, guys, a couple of things. What do you think? I've put a jumper on today. I've had my shirt for the last few weeks. I've had a couple of my show shirts, I call them. And I'll go a bit more casual. What do you think, Dawn?
Oh, I know. I think so. It's cold today.
It is.
We've had some nice warm weather. It's a little bit cold. I was just telling you earlier, I've got the slow cooker on as well. So, yeah. You look all nice and snuggled up.
No,
ready for when, and then shirts back out when the sun comes out.
That's it. Well, guys, if you want to comment, if you prefer me in a shirt or you prefer me in a jumper, do so. So I can see which looks best. So Dawn, I'm going to hand over to you, but before we do, guys, remember, as always, this is your time to ask Dawn anything about any of her products, anything at all. Pop your comments left, right, up or down, whichever device you're on, because I never know whether it's Android or Apple or laptops. I don't know. And the other thing, guys, is don't forget up the top is an alarm. Please do press it, because then you'll be notified every time we go live, and you won't miss any of our amazing suppliers and the offers that are coming to you. So, Dawn, we'll hand over to you, and you can tell us all about Portugal. And I'm going to get a glass of rosé wine, I think.
Oh, actually, yeah, or some port, whichever.
I've got some port downstairs, but I think Stan would go mad if we found out I drank it.
All the port houses are all in Portugal, and in Porto in particular. So if you like port, perfect.
Port and cheese. Ooh.
Oh, okay. Well, we both did that at the same time.
Oh,
absolutely. All right then. So shall I start?
Go on then. If you share your screen, and we'll copy you on.
All right then. So share screen.
You should be a veteran at this now, Dawn.
I know, but I always want to make sure I do it right. Share audio.
Share audio. There we go. You've remembered.
So can you see my screen, Martin?
It's just
a beautiful picture
of
the Douro.
It's just coming through. Must be a little while. There we go. Don't forget to hide your little StreamYard log, and then we'll be all set. And I'm going to leave you with the lovely Dawn, and we're going to pop it on, and Dawn's going to talk to you everything about Uniworld and the beautiful and amazing Douro Valley. So over to you, Dawn.
Oh, thank you, Martin. And thanks so much for tuning in today. I really do appreciate it. There's a little bit of normality to us as well, talking about brilliant river cruises. I know Martin said earlier about the questions and answers. If you've got any questions about river cruising in general, then I'll try to help, answer those as well during the live chat that Martin does, but also when we have the cute question and answers as well. So if you've got any general questions about river cruise, then you can just ask me at the same time. So thank you so much for this evening, and we're going to talk all about the Douro river cruise with Uniworld. I'm going to talk to you just a little about Uniworld for the next couple of minutes, and then I've got a special recording from our cruise manager, who's on our beautiful, beautiful brand new ship, the SãO GABRIEL. River cruises are a little bit smaller than traditionally on the rivers, because the Douro River is a little bit smaller. So we're going to talk to you all about that and go all the way through. So let me start for that beautiful picture, the rolling hills, and we can see all of the vineyards there. And you can see how the river meanders all the way through. So who are Uniworld? So Uniworld are a family-run business. They've got over 100 years experience. They're the only river cruise line that has its heritage in hotels. So we've hotels all throughout the world, 5 in London. We've got hotels in South Africa, the 12 Apostles. We've got a brand new safari in Africa as well. But the other brands that you might be aware of that are part of the group is called the TTC Group, the Travel Corporation, Insight Vacations and Luxury Gold as well. It's a debt-free company that, as I said, has its heritage in hospitality, and those hotels are 5-star hotels, and everything that we do in those hotels are replicated on our river ships as well. So where do we sail? Well, we sail throughout the world. The majority of our sailings and our ships are in Europe. You can see on that map there, I just thought I'd pop a slide in to show you where we sail. So we do the main rivers, which are the Danube, the Rhine, the Rhone. We have a fantastic new ship in Italy on the River Po and the lagoons as well. We have sailings all throughout France, so whether it be in Paris or Bordeaux, which is a really popular one as well. And then today we're going to talk about Portugal, and we're going to talk about the Douro as well. But then we also have ships, what we call exotic, so long haul. So if you've ever watched the Jane McDonald programme, we've been on a few times with Jane. She's one of our favourites, and recently she's been on the Douro, but she's also been on, there's a 2-part special if anyone wants to go and watch India, where that's a cruise and a tour as well, and that's on a fantastic ship on the River Ganges too. But then we also have another new ship, which is on the Mekong as well, the Mekong Jewel, and we also have another new ship, which is launching this year, which is the Sphinx, which is in Egypt. We have a ship also in Russia as well. So yeah, we've got ships all throughout the world, because river cruising is just one of the most fantastic ways to take a holiday. So talking about a river cruise and why take a river cruise. So it's unlike my background is ocean cruising. I've got one booked for this year. Can't wait to go on it. Martin's booked it for me. But river cruising is a little bit different. It's the best of ocean and escorted tours. If you like city breaks, and then you will like a river cruise. So the ships are smaller. So on average, on a river cruise ship, there's around about 190 guests. But with Uniworld, we have about 130 because we've used the space for different dining venues and bigger suites as well. And river cruise ships are more or less the same size, because they need to be, because of going under the bridges and through the locks at the same time. So there's nowhere else that you can just, unlike a river cruise, where you just unpack once. You unpack once and then you're transported from destination to destination. There's always a change of view as well. So you wake up in a new destination. The views are just fantastic. You can see one of our ships there actually. And the sun deck, there's no better time than to just sit on the sun deck, maybe with a gin and tonic, watching the world go by and seeing a castle if we're in the Douro, sailing through the vineyards that'll be either side, cascading down as we meander along the river. Also, it's a really, really safe way to cruise as well. Like we say, there are less guests on board, and on the ship that we'll be talking about today, the SãO GABRIEL, there's only 100 guests, and there's likely to be a few less than that when we do sail later on in the year. The great thing about a river cruise, if there was an issue, or if someone did become ill, you can just moor the ship against. You can just pull in. You don't have the tenders, or you're out at sea. So it's just a fantastic way to cruise. Like we said, the ship is smaller. There's fewer guests on board as well, and it really is immersive. And I think that's probably the word that I would sum Uniworld up as, really, because you can get into the heart of the city, whether it be a city or whether it be where we're mooring on the Douro as well. There's no tenders. You're just meandering through, and then you get off, and then you're straight into the heart of wherever you need to be. And then you can, as you can see, you can cycle along the river as well. You're just amongst it all. It's just fantastic. So why Uniworld? Just to tell you a little bit about it before we chat and we get the cruise manager on board as well. Not literally on board on this presentation. So there's so many high standards, really, and I think everything that we do is all about the guest that's on board. So it's all about the detail. So our FIFO scores are really high, 4.8 out of 5, and they're actually we get those scores because guests rate us. It's not something that we do, internally as well. We've got guests that come back to us time after time. In fact, we've got a client that's travelled with us 45 times. Can't wait to get back on board the ships like everyone else. We just can't wait to be sailing. Hopefully we'll be sailing May or June time this year. So Uniworld's different to other cruise lines. All our ships are one of a kind. So they're built for the region that they're in. So the decor reflects the region that they're in as well. So the SãO GABRIEL, as we go through and you see the ship in a second, it's in coupling with the region that she sails in as well. And that's the same for all of our ships. So when our guests come back to us, they come for the itinerary, but they also want to experience the other ships at the same time. Outstanding service, it's key to everything that we do. When you get on board one of our ships, the first thing you'll see is a welcoming smile, and you're given a glass of bubbles as well. The staff are so friendly and welcoming, and the mantra throughout the company is no request is too large or detail is too small, and that is so true. The food culinary excellence is every meal time is a culinary delight. Everything that on board, because when you do get on board, have a chance to ask the cruise host as well if you could have a look at the kitchens, you'd be surprised how small the kitchens actually are. So everything that we do is local, fresh, because the kitchens are small, so it's farm to table. We cater for dietary requirements, so if there's a dietary requirement that you may have, just need to let Martin know or let us know as well, and then we can make the ship aware. And everything's paired with fantastic wines by a sommelier, local wines. As we're traveling through the regions, you'll get to taste a different wine. But actually, if you like that wine from 2 nights ago on your cruise, then you can have that wine as well. And that leads me on to being truly all-inclusive. So we do say there's nothing else to pay for. Once you step on, you stepped on board, your flights are included, and you transfer from the airport to the ship. Everything is included, from multiple tours, and they're immersive tours. I know I'm using that word again. Your Wi-Fi is included. Just everything that you could possibly want is on board as well. There's nothing else that you need to think about. If you wanted a glass of bubbles in the morning, or you wanted a coffee, then that's included as well. It's all included with Uniworld. So guest well-being, so important, and I am going to talk about it a little bit more later on in the presentation. Everything that we do is all about our guests, and it's our #1 priority in the new world. We've got enhanced protocols, following the guidance of CLEAR and WHO, and it is our #1 priority. Now we'll go into more detail in this in a second. And then we've got some great offers for 21 and 22 as well, which I'll talk to you towards the end of the presentation. So I'm just going to hand you over to Ricardo now, who's just going to talk you through day by day on the river cruise. When Martin asked me to look at Portugal, rather than just showing you slides of the ship, I thought it'd be great to show you the cruise manager, who you would meet when you're on board, and then he'll go through some of the most fantastic excursions that we have, some of the highlights as we sail along the Douro.
Hello everybody, my name is Ricardo Figueiredo. I'm part of the Uniworld Cruise Managers team, and I'm also proud to meet you here and present you Portugal, Spain, and the Douro River Valley. A night cruise starting in the beautiful city of Porto and sailing along the Douro River. A cruise where it's possible to discover different landscapes, beautiful locations, and admiring also the natural beauty of the Dodo Valley. A cruise where we can enjoy also the newest and the most luxurious ship on the Douro River, with more lavishly appointed suites than other ships sailing in this destination. A ship that shows us also a mixture between vintage and modern decoration, always focused and inspired in the Portuguese elements of decoration. A ship where we have an amazing crew members. A ship where we can find delectable food and wines. Let's keep in mind that Portugal is known by the variety of wines, but also the rich gastronomy that we have. And we are proud to offer to our guests on a daily basis in the restaurant, the Portuguese Corner, where we can try the different flavors from different regions, pair it also with wines of the region, never forgetting the elements of the Portuguese pastries, and of course our port wine. During this week, ladies and gentlemen, we have many highlights, but I would like to point for the city of Porto, the Douro Valley, the Citadel of Castelo Rodrigo, and the beautiful city of Salamanca. Porto, an UNESCO World Heritage Site, where we can find and discover the history of the country and some of the oldest traditions that we've got in our small country. A city of medieval alleys crossing completely the hills and the quarters of the city center. A city where we can find the mixture between the Baroque churches and the neoclassical palaces. A city where we have plenty of colors, different ones, covering the different facades that we've got in this amazing destination. Porto is also a city of romantic decoration. And this romantic decoration, it's mostly visible in the former Stock Exchange Palace with its Moorish saloon. A city where the 19th century transforms completely the way of build. A good example, it's the Louis I Bridge. The Dodo Valley responds for itself as being one of the majestic landscapes that we've got in the country. It's quite remote and still virgin. It's a destination that gives us the chance to offer to all our guests one of the most serene and relaxing cruise destinations in the world. That's one of the many reasons that was already declared as the best European river cruise destination. The Douro Valley, along the river, along the valley, it's mostly characterized by the typical slopes and terraces fully covered of vines. Close by the Spanish border, we can find the Citadel of Castelo Rodrigo, a medieval one, part of the 12 historical villages of Portugal, where we can find plenty of stories and traditions that are making part of the history of the region and the country. A citadel where we can find the different flavors of the region and also some threats. This is usually known as Uniworld's Cruise Manager Choice, a place where at the end of an amazing walking tour, we can enjoy the threats of this corner of Portugal. And of course, Salamanca, despite being located outside Portuguese territory and in the middle of the Spanish region of Castile and Leon, it's another UNESCO World Heritage Site that is worth the visit. It's known as the Golden City, especially because of the limestone that were used during centuries to the construction of the most well-known buildings. It's known in Spain as the City of Knowledge because it's right here that we can also find the oldest university of the world. A city with vibrant and exciting flavors. A city where we have some of the greatest examples of the Plateresque and palatial Spanish architecture. To reach Salamanca, we've got the chance also to enjoy the beautiful scenic coach drive of the region of Castile and Leon, and of course, reaching our aim, which is the Plaza Mayor, one of the most spectacular ones in Spain. In a daily basis, ladies and gentlemen, we are capable to offer different choices. Starting in our day 2 in the city of Porto that we can enjoy during the morning. We need to choose between a more relaxing discovery of the city using our buses, where we can enjoy, for example, the interior of the Stock Exchange Palace and its Moorish saloon. But if we want to reach areas that are not reachable by bus or by car, we invite you to do as the locals do, and climbing the hills and having a more active tour. During the afternoon scenic sailing till Entre os Rios. And then on day 3, we will sail from Entre os Rios to Pinhão. But on the way we stop at Régua. and less than a 5-minute walk from our ship, we've got the Douro Museum. A museum that it's capable to offers already a very interesting introduction of what it's waiting for us for the rest of the week. The history, the traditions, the way of living of the people of the Douro Valley. After this very interesting and informative lecture, we've got the opportunity to enjoy our traditional lunch in one of the most well-known and typical wine estates of the region, Quinta da Pacheca. In the afternoon, we sail to Pinhão. And reaching Pinhão gives us a chance for, during the day 4 of our cruise, in the morning, to visit 2 different wine estates. But we need to choose between one or the other. In one case, Quinta do Seixo, amazing views, fantastic wine. On the other hand, we've got Quinta da Rueda, a very pleasant walk along the rows of vines, a tour where we can also discover the variety of grapes that we plant in the region of the Douro Valley. And during the afternoon, we've got one of the most amazing scenic sailing, also with commentary, till Vega de Teron. Reaching Vega de Teron gives us the chance for, during the day 5 of our cruise, have a full day tour to the city of Salamanca. During this tour, we've got included the visit of the university and both cathedrals. After the tour, of course, some leisure time to enjoy the city and also to enjoy our lunch. And we invite the guests to try the local flavors, the tapas that can be paired also with Spanish wines. On the way back to the ship, we will meet our ship in the Portuguese side of the border, Barca d'Alva. And about 30 minutes from Barca d'Alva, on day 6, we can find Castelo Rodrigo, the Citadel, where we still preserve influences from the Moorish presence in the area, but also Jewish and religious elements of the northeastern part of Portugal. If we prefer to have a more active tour and a kind of Indiana Jones expedition, we always recommend the choice to the visit of the archaeological park of the Douro Valley. During the afternoon, we sail till Régua, and we reach already the day 7, because during the day 7 in the morning, we've got a quite smooth sailing to arrive in the city of Porto, and during this morning sailing, we will have our pastry chef giving us the chance to enjoy a cooking demonstration. During the afternoon, the choice between the birthplace of Portugal, Guimarães, or a Ribeiro walking tour, where our guides will take us to the most well-known quarter in the city of Porto, giving us some time to enjoy some leisure on our own, or even to do some late shopping during this week. You are all more than welcome to visit Portugal and to enjoy this amazing cruise. And if you need some more information, we invite you also to visit uniworld.com. It was a pleasure, ladies and gentlemen, to meet you here. Sincerely hope that you enjoyed this presentation and hope to see you soon in the Douro River, discovering the Douro Valley. Thank you so much for choosing Uniworld.
Every time I listen to Ricardo, it just makes me want to go back to Portugal. I've actually done this river cruise myself, and Porto is just a fantastic place to go to. And I know when I chat with Martin at the end, we'll probably get to chat about that a little bit more. And there's a few hidden gems that I can also talk to you about as well. And it's definitely worth an extra couple of nights to explore as well. So just going on with the presentation, I did say that I would come back and talk to you about wellbeing because it is our top priority, as it says there. So we follow the guidance of CLIA, WHO and WTTC, the World Travel Tourism Council. We already got these protocols in place, not just with the whole new world and the changes that have happened. We were already doing a lot of these anyway. Our team are expertly trained, our cruise managers, our hotel managers, and all the crew have been trained by an external consultant in professional health, enhanced hygiene as well, and physical distancing procedures at the same time. So we will say, we will ask all of our guests before they sail, before they travel, as a mandatory wellbeing declaration as well. We ask that to be completed, and also upon arrival. We will have touchless temperature screenings, you know, throughout the cruise before you get on, and throughout the cruise as well. I think it makes us all feel a little bit better as well, that continuously happens, not just when you get on board. And as we said, enhanced protocols as well. And we do have a great book with confidence message where you are free to change your cruise. So even with all of these things that we've got in place and that we're doing and more, we do have a flexible booking policy as well at the same time. So I just wanted to highlight that. I think it's important to chat about it, just so you know what's going on behind the scenes at Uniworld to make sure that everybody is safe. So just touching on what's included, really. We touched on it earlier as well. As we said, everything is included. And I know this slide's quite busy and there's a lot of information on there as well. We've got one of the highest staff to guest ratios in the industry. As we said, our ships are one of a kind. All your gratuities are included as well. Your transfers from the airport to the ship and back again. We have Savoir beds that are made in the UK. Our butlers, if you were in a suite, are trained by Buckingham Palace. We talked about dining as well, and Ricardo said, we have a little corner on the ship on the SãO GABRIEL as well that have traditional Portuguese food, and also the Portuguese tarts as well, which are fantastic. If you did want a different, so we have the menu with lots of different things to choose from, but maybe that day you fancied maybe a salad or chicken or a steak, then that's not a problem either. We can do that for you just when you come down to dinner. So all your drinks are included, so it's unlimited. So not just with lunch and dinner, no matter what time you can get a drink if you need to, whether it be a soft drink or a coffee or a beer or a glass of wine. Or a glass of bubbles as well. The regional wines are fantastic. We have a sommelier on board who will pair the wines with dinner as well. And it's just nice to learn about the different regions as well of wine. I sound like I know a lot about, well, I like wine. I do like wine actually, and then Martin can vouch for that. But some of the reds are absolutely fantastic. It's all English speaking when you're on board. We have fitness centres and we have bicycles. So if you wanted to, and Ricardo was mentioned, do as the locals do, you could take one of our bikes and you could then cycle around maybe in Porto or at different destinations. So we know, and this happens quite often, and I've done it before, where you could cycle to the next destination. You speak to your cruise manager, and then just cycle along the river, you know, if it's accessible. He'll tell you the best place to do that, which is a really, really nice thing to do. You can have a packed lunch and a blanket and just go and explore on your own. We have Wi-Fi that are on board that's included, and we have lectures. We have people that come on board as well that talk you through what's happening in the region. But you've also got your cruise manager, and this one here is Ricardo on this sailing. So just wanted to run through a few of what's included. So much is included, so you won't have that surprise of a bill at the end, because there's nothing else to pay. So we've got some fantastic offers at the minute. So Portugal is very, very popular. If anyone was going to put any river cruise line, if I'm honest, was going to put a new ship somewhere, it'd be in Portugal. Really popular. It's more of a year-round destination as well because of the fantastic weather. We've got good airlift, so we can get into Porto as well, and you can extend and add Lisbon on at the beginning or the end as well. So Portugal is just fantastic. Like I say, the ships are smaller. That means that we do, and everybody else does, sell out very quickly. So we have an 8-day river cruise along this the Douro River, brand new ship, which is the SãO GABRIEL, which is beautiful. And we've got a fantastic lead-in with a 30% discount and an exclusive pricing just for Martin. So it's leading in on the 8th of August at 3219, and that's everything that's included. We do have other dates that are available at that price as well, and then we've got dates where we have nil single supplements as well. So without further ado, I'm just going to just play a little video now that has just shows you a little bit more about Uniworld and the different style of ships that we have. And then a questions and answers session with Martin at the end.
How do you elevate the #1 river cruise line? We have a few ideas. It's the #1 river cruise line like you've never seen it before. 4 new super ships coming soon.
So I just wanted to say thank you, and thank you for your time. I hope that was informative for you, not just about Uniworld, but more about the itinerary and, as we were saying, immersive, and Ricardo giving you a bit more of a day-to-day what happens, the number of excursions that we do have, which is the jewel in the crown, really. So if we were going on a river cruise and I was going on a river cruise with Martin, he could choose a different excursion than I was having. So it's tailor-made on the water. There's just, if you're thinking about a river cruise, Portugal is definitely a fantastic option. And then maybe a questions and answer session now, Martin. I'll tell you a little bit more about my experience of, especially in Porto, because it's a fantastic place to start and end your river cruise as well.
Well done.
Come on, pack. Come on. Get your suitcase. Get your suitcase. We're off.
It's already
Don't
packed
tell-
from our, it's from the Venice one and the India one.
Don't tell Stan. Come on, we're going.
Oh, don't. I'll happily go now. Happily go now, don't. Just get me back on those rivers and just sailing away, cocktail in hand. Oh.
Sail away. Those rolling the hills with all the vines on down the Douro, and especially now Portugal's not on the restricted list anymore.
I know
Just
that's great.
fabulous news. It's as if you knew. Have you been having a word with Boris?
Yeah, well, I nipped down to 10 Downing Street, knocked on the door and said, look, Bojo, listen, right, we've had enough now in this industry. We want to get away on holiday, sort it out. Dawn's coming on. RJ McDonald, sort the Douro out.
That's it. Oh, it's just a lovely, lovely itinerary. I'm lucky that I've done it before and stayed. I know you've stayed in Lisbon, haven't you? You've been to Lisbon. That's an extension that we have. And then in Porto, if you've got an opportunity to do an extra couple of nights in Porto, it's beautiful. About 15 years ago, it had a lot of money that was invested into it. So it's a little bit run down. And now it's bustling. It's still got that raw edge to it where it's exciting. There's lots, because there's so much history there. You know, you've got the fantastic bridge. If you can go to the railway station, that's absolutely beautiful at the railway station. And it's all because also Portugal and the Douro and that region is famous for tiles. So it's all in these beautiful ornate tiles as well. And then my top tip would be, if you go for a night out, and you like seafood restaurants down by the docks, and it doesn't look anything special. There's a row of restaurants, and outside they have barbecues. And then you go and choose your fish, and then they cook it outside for you, and then they bring it to your table. It's a little hidden gem. And at night, you can't see down the street. You can it's all full of smoke. But it's cooked there fresh. It comes brought in from the fishermen. And then it goes to the restaurant, and then they cook it there and then for you on the barbecue outside.
Now, I'll ask you a question then, Dawn. The fish, do they come with heads on them?
Well, you just have to tell them that you don't want a head on it.
I can't have
You know what I mean? Headless.
I can't be having my tea looking back at me, you know what I mean? So
there's
a story
all
about
sorts of fish and seafood, and it's a really nice place to go. And you can sit outside, a little bit smoky, but then you can go into the restaurants as well. But all around there, and Porto is also famous for port, where you can have the fantastic, where the port houses are, the wineries.
Mm-hmm.
So Coburn, some of the names that we remember, and Cockburn as well, Croft.
Yeah.
They're all there, and the old boats where they used to transport them along on the river, they're all down by where the river cruise is more. It's just lovely. I love it. That is the start, because you start and finish in Porto. It's lovely. It's a little hidden gem. No wonder, if anyone could have a new river cruise ship, where would they put it? It would be in Portugal.
Portugal, innit? It's got to be. It's got to be. You've sold it to me. I'm all right. I'm on my way. I'll pick you up on the way. In fact,
sounds good. And it sounds really well, because the ships are small, you see, because the river isn't very wide. So your ships aren't as long. Ours is about 80 metres, when traditionally it's about 110 metres long. And then you've got 100 guests on with 37 staff on board as well.
God, that's good, isn't it? You're like weighted on hand and foot.
There's nothing else to think about. You would be a prince for a week.
Well, that's a good thing, because it's all inclusive, isn't it? So all your excursions are included. Your drinks, me and you, Dawn, we don't drink much, do we? We want the odd cocktail occasionally. We can have one or two, and you don't have to get your purse out at the end of the cruise, because it's all paid for.
That's it. We've got 28 different types of whiskey that you can choose from, if you like whiskey, by the way. It's all included. And if you and I were going with Uniworld, then there's multiple excursions. We don't have to do the same one. So it's tailor-made on the water. And I totally get it if you want to stay on the ship. Why wouldn't you? Because it's beautiful on the sun deck, you know, and sunbathe and read. But there's multiple excursions that you can do as well.
Oh, well, I wouldn't trust you on your own, especially if you had a drink the night before. You wouldn't get lost.
Yeah, don't put me on the back.
Oh no. Oh well. Anyway, we've had some comments. First one, I did ask about my jumper and what was that, and I don't mind what you're wearing, Martin. Apparently. So for those that have just tuned in, we were asking. I've normally worn a shirt on the shows, and I'm just wondering whether do we go a little bit more cash because we're coming into summer. Post some comments if you want to. Anyway, on to the important things about river cruises. Where were we?
I like your jumper, to be fair. It's been freezing where I am in North Staffordshire today.
It's a bit cold. Dave Suggis said pork and cheese, that'll do my blood sugars the world of good. We're talking about your pulled pork that you've had. Oh
yeah. I've cooked that today actually. But all the famous cheeses. So Ricardo was saying it on the ship. I'm pointing as if I can see it in my mind because I can't picture it from being on. There's a little corner there with all the traditional Portuguese culinary affair. Some nice cheeses with a nice glass of port. Oh yeah.
I'm there, Dawn. I'm there with the important cheese.
Absolutely.
Oh.
And then you have a different glass of wine depending where you are in the regions.
No, I mean, I'm up for that. I do like my wines. I'm a big red wine drinker, so Stan's more of a white wine. He's not very big on reds, so but I'm a big red wine drinker.
Well, I'll come with you then.
Yeah, me and you'll go. We'll leave Stan at home. Dave's asked David Sugge. Hi, David. David's a very good client of ours. Booked on the cruises and a few other cruises with us. So, what's the night entertainment like? He's not expecting Broadway shows like on ocean cruises.
So it's incumbent with the region that we're in, and obviously the ships are smaller. So we bring entertainment on board. We have a pianist on board as well. So we'll bring local artists on as well. But the best thing about a river cruise, I think, is if we're mooring overnight, because sometimes we're moor in the day, sometimes in the evening, you can have a fantastic dinner and then you can walk off into town as well. So just getting back to what David was saying, he's totally right. We don't have the Broadway shows, but we bring local artists on as well. And the great thing about a river cruise is the cruise director also knows his clients that are on board, so we can tailor it. So if we wanted some quizzes that were on board as well, and people wanted a quiz, then we could do those sort of things as well. The cruise director knows the cruise, because everyone's different depending on the clientele that are on as well. But yeah, you have your pianist and you'll have a singer that comes on as well. It's different every day.
That sounds good. I mean, yeah, when you're on a river cruise, I love the fact that they bring local entertainers on, and it gives you that real flavour of the region you're in, doesn't it? And it's just nice, and it's like you're like, oh wow, do they really do that? And I've seen many a show on board, and the size of the ship and the shows they put on are amazing. They really are.
The thing is, they can just jump off again as well, so the entertainers come off. We don't literally throw them off. But because it's different than ocean, because you're out at sea, but they can, they get on and off, and we can get new people on quite easily because we're mooring every day somewhere new.
There we go. Jade said she loves the Jane McDonald series. We all do, don't we?
Oh, we love Jane. She's been on with us now 3 times. So she's done India with us, she's done the Rhine, and she's done the Danube as well. So
they're always on TV, aren't they? So you can catch up.
They are on My 5. Go and download them. She does very well for the cruise industry, and I have to say for Uniworld, she is a great ambassador, really.
She certainly is. I think I remember when she got on, she was just like, oh wow. when she
first won, it was the first one with us, and she just said, because our ships are, as you know, they're all different. They're in common with the region that they're in. So if we were in Bordeaux, it would be different than the ship, the SãO GABRIEL that we have in the Douro. So when she got on board, it was a piece of Jane. She was like, she loved it.
Well, each ship's got its own character, hasn't it? Because none of them are the same, are they? the decor.
No. So they don't. So we have a high repeat rate, which is absolutely fantastic. People come back to us. We have a FIFO rating of 4.9 out of 5 that's voted for by past guests, nothing to do with us. And it's just, yeah, they come back and experience the ship on a new ship and a new itinerary as well. So we get to see the different ships. That's the best bit for me. And some of our ships, we have to cast those.
Wow. That's good to hear, though. That FIFO rating is amazing. I mean, because it's clients who have been on board and experienced the Uniworld experience, and it's good, honest, and it's open, and it's like, I love, we're rated on River Cruising as, I think we're platinum again this year for River Cruises, and the Cruise Village, Travel Village Cruise, were rated as gold. So, and that's because how you look after people, and that's what people want to know. When I book, am I going to be looked after? Am I going to have a fabulous holiday? And that tells you, yes, you are. So, well done on that. Well done for getting that.
And I think that's in good times and bad. If something does happen, so a flight's delayed or something like that, because they do happen, then we'll put it, we'll make sure that all our guests are looked after. And I think that's important, because sometimes the things out of our control.
They are. At the moment, things are out of our control, but we will be back, and we will be back bigger and stronger than ever, won't we, Dawn?
Most definitely. I can't wait. We're hoping to sail in June, so end of May, beginning of June, because we are just desperate to get on the water. And it's a little bit different for river cruise compared to ocean, because you don't have as many guests on board as well. The logistics aren't the same. That I've got an ocean cruise booked with you, actually, that goes in August, which I can't wait to go on. But logistics of a river cruise and the protocols that everyone's put into place in the river industry are already in place.
A lot of these policies and protocols have been there before, haven't they, on river and ocean cruises? So they've always had sanitizer. The washy guys were before you'd be allowed to enter the dining room. So it's great. Jane's been asking a few questions. I'm hoping she's going to go on one of your cruises. So she did. Where are we? Sorry, guys. I'm just looking up at the comments and getting to where they all are. Let's have a little look. Don't you just love technology? She did say she's up for the cooking presentation when they do that.
Absolutely, because it's farm to table. So I think I mentioned it earlier. You'd be shocked of how small the kitchen, the galley is. And they are really, really small to cater for everyone. It's a la carte when we're on board. So everything, we don't have freezers full of food. It's farm, because we're docking in new places and we're getting local regions. And we're very proud of the farm to table ethos that we have on all of our ships. And everything's fresh. So we did say about dietary requirements as well. If there is a dietary requirement, you just need to let us know.
That is a good thing, because you can cater for anything, can't you? There's no problems whatsoever. And as you say, because you are docking so quick, what's the word? Frequently. Yeah, couldn't get my words out then. Frequently, you can pick things up as you go along and order them as you go along. Well, we need this because we want to do this meal tonight. That's amazing. Do you do well-being trips?
So we have well-being on our ships. We have a gym on board as well. We do yoga on the top deck, so that's fantastic. In sunrise yoga. So yes, so those are the well-being that we have. Do we have a dedicated one that's just for well-being? We don't, because we already include those things. We could go off and on a couple of our cruises where we go off and there's lots. They're very active, a river cruise. Well, I say that it can be as active as much as you want.
That's it, yeah.
So we have the bikes that are on board already, and then you can go off and walk and do as the locals do. So you can make it so. Also on our walking tours that we have, we'll always have a walking tour and much more. We have different levels, so a little bit more intense or relaxed. So we don't have one that's called a wellbeing trip, but we have lots that are on board. It's a bit like, do we do wine cruises? No, we don't, because all our ships have lots of wine on anyway.
I mean,
We're in different regions, so we don't have, we never call we've got a wine trip, because it's already all included. All the different wines that we have and all the different choices, local or whatever it may be. So hopefully, Jade, that answered your question. Sorry, I went around the houses and talked about wine as well then.
the next one from Jay was, is alcohol included with unlimited drinks? Well, yeah, it is. It's fully all inclusive, isn't it? I mean, as you said, was it 40 whiskies on board?
Yeah, there's over 28 whiskies that are all included. So if you so the gratuities are included, and also your unlimited drink. So if you wanted a glass of Bucks Fizz in the morning, then that's not a problem. But if you wanted a nice coffee from the coffee machine, then you can have that. But it's all included, from the wines to a nice gin and tonic, maybe a Bombay Sapphire or a Hendrix with a little bit of cucumber.
Excellent, excellent. And the last question we've got was.
Oh, sorry, Martin. Let me just tell you something else. Sorry, I've just got another thought.
I interrupted you then, Dawn.
No, just another thought, which is a little nugget, really. So if you went off and you went exploring, and you went to maybe you went for lunch, and there was a nice wine that you had, and because you were off, you decided, actually, today I'll get off and explore the ship. You could have your lunch on board, but you decided, no, we'll go out. And you bought a bottle of that wine because it was lovely at dinner, or at lunch. You could bring that back on board. There's no need to, because there's so much wine anyway. But if you wanted to bring a bottle and think, actually, I'm going to sip this in my room tonight, watching the world go by, then you can.
It's a good idea, that.
Because lots of people don't allow that. Allow you to bring your own alcohol on. But if you've got a special wine that you particularly liked, or you went to one of the port houses, for example, got a nice port, and you thought, actually, maybe we'll take it on board and we'll have a little cheers tonight in your room, and then you can.
Well, I've got on the ship. Now you're in Portugal, and the sun's beaming down. Is there a pool on board on the ship or not?
Yeah, there is a small pool on board the ship. So at the sun deck, it does get really warm in Portugal, year round. So we have canopies as well that go across, so you can also be in the shade as well. Because even though the ships don't go fast, there's a nice breeze, and sometimes you don't realise that how warm it's getting. So you might have been in and out of the small plunge pool and not realised, but we do have those sun canopies there for a reason. God,
do you know what? It's just we need to go, Dawn. Should we go? Me and you.
Can't wait. June. Fingers crossed. Is it the 17th of May that we can then fly? So.
12th of April is the announcement, isn't it? And then 17th of May is hopefully when
international
travel's allowed. And then hopefully we'll just be able to go and enjoy this wonderful world and these countries with fabulous rivers and amazing Uniworld super ships that are on.
That's it. We've seen over the last month or so a big increase in 2021, where we were booking for 2022 in advance. But I think as more people have had the vaccine and feeling more confident as well, then 2021 people want to get away this year, because some people haven't been away for 2-3 years maybe. So definitely the last month, 2021 has come back.
And I think river cruising is great because it's small groups, so you're not on a big ship with thousands of people. Now, don't get me wrong, they are safe, ocean cruises are. But if you're that sort of person who's thinking, I want something a little bit smaller because I'm not quite ready for a big ocean ship or something, then river cruising is ideal because of the number of passengers on board. So it's a great way to still be on the rivers, still be on the water, and experience these amazing destinations. So, Dawn, I can't believe it's another hour we've done again.
I know, but I love it. Do you know what? This gives me a sense of normality as well, and also the things that we love. We can't wait to be away. And I think, getting a cruise director to also talk about it as well in a bit of depth, in more depth. It's just, I love it. I can't wait to do the next one really with you now.
Well, yeah, this is it. And well, guys, we'll give you a little bit of a hint for April. And Dawn, I do this. I'm sure it was last time I announced my next exclusive. So, guys, for April, we are going to be doing a destination focus month. And my little Jane McDonald friend here, Dawn, has come to do one that I'm really, really, really excited about. But not because I'm an alcoholic, but I do like wine. But we're going to talk about Bordeaux. I believe you're coming to do that in April, aren't you, Dawn?
I can't wait. That Bordeaux sells very, very well, and it's just lots of people again call it a wine river cruise or a wine cruise, but there's so much more than wine. Wine is a nice part of it, to be fair. It is, but there's Bordeaux, and the region of Bordeaux is beautiful, and we have a no-fly option as well. You could do a self-drive.
Oh, that's going to be amazing. That's going to be amazing. Guys, well, thank you for joining in this evening. And Dawn, as usual, thank you for taking your time out. I know you've got family at home and it's an evening time, and thank you for spending the time with us this evening. Guys, as always, if you have any questions, then please do just message me. Give me a call on 0161 735 0112, or you can find me my email address on the Facebook page. Dawn, we will have you back very, very soon, and I can't wait for Bordeaux. Guys, thank you for joining in, and have a lovely evening, and tune in to the next episode of Coming to Your Sofa. Bye for now.
Take care, stay safe. Bye.